Hello everyone, Shadow Prince Gamer here. I've been wanting to do this video since, um, since I started like doing my YouTube channel. I always try to do like live streams, let's plays of like different games. But then, um, a while back ago, I started playing a game called Dead by Daylight, which I finally did my 200th live video of the game on my YouTube channel. And I'm thinking like, wow, when I first started playing Dead by Daylight was 7 years ago, and I've done over 200. Well, I've done 200 videos plus some that was like I did some other videos of the game too. But yeah, I did my 200th video of Dead by Daylight yesterday, and I did like a 2-hour stream. I was talking to people in the comments, just talking a little bit, which normally I do no commentary videos. And then I just wanted to start to reflect on my love for this game. You know, this game right here, which is Dead by Daylight. Like I said, I started playing this game 7 years ago. And the game has evolved so much with like with killers like Michael Myers, characters like Five Nights at Freddy, Springtrap, joining the roster. You know, and even Dracula from the Castlevania series, which is a series that everyone knows who watch my channel. I love the Castlevania series. So when they had characters like Dracula from Castlevania, Wesker from Resident Evil, even survivors like Jill, Leon, Chris, Carlos, Sheva, Claire, and then they even had characters from Silent Hill like Pyramid Head, and of course Heather Mason, and like other characters, like James Sunderland. I don't know if I butchered his name, but I think it was James, if I recall correctly. You know, um, but yeah, this game is like a game I really love, and like I said, I've been playing it for 7 years, and to think that I'm still playing it even now here in 2025, and it's still doing constant updates, But I want to tell you how I got into playing this game. Because I do love horror games, but when this game came out, originally, I never even heard of the game. Well, I only heard of it through another game that I used to play a lot, which sadly the servers are down, of course, which was this game right here, Friday the 13th. This game used to be like my love. I loved playing this game. I had so many fun memories of playing Friday the 13th. And I met so many awesome people from this game too. That like I remember one night, I think it was a girl. I mean, I don't talk to her no more. It's been like years ago. You know, but I think a girl who I used to know on this from this game, um, she had mentioned Dead by Daylight, and I'm like, Dead by Daylight? What is that game? I never heard of it. She's like, oh, it's just like a game where you fixing generators, escaping the killer. And I'm thinking like, what? I never heard of it. And I think prior to her telling me about the game, I think the game was still a little new. You know, I don't know, it might have been like maybe a month old at that time, before I heard of the game. Well, until someone told me about the game. So I'm thinking like, since I used to play with her a lot in Friday the 13th, I valued her opinion on games that she can recommend, like horror games. So I ended up picking up Dead by Daylight. This exact copy is the copy I've had since the game released. Even though, like I tell you, I played it a month after the game released, and this is the copy I had. When the game only had like 4 survivors in it and 4 killers or so, and then so I ended up looking for this game from GameStop. Got it. When I originally played this game, I didn't really care for the game. I was like bored, thinking like, okay, so all you're doing is just fixing 4 generators, and you escape from the killer. And I'm thinking like, you could do more other stuff on Friday the 13th, like fixing cars, jumping through cabins, trying to escape from Jason. So like, and I'm thinking like, I wasn't really feeling this game. I'm like, whatever, this game was lame. So I ended up going back to Friday the 13th, of course. And you know, I had fun playing it. Like, if you check my channel, you see a lot of videos on Friday the 13th as well, which I love this game. So, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, you know what? Let me go give Dead by Daylight another try. So I started playing it and really getting invested into it, knowing like how to play the game, what abilities and perks to use. I'm more of a survivor main. I don't use killer, but I do use survivor. So I've been doing like survivor for 7 years. Like I tell you, if you check my YouTube channel, I have a playlist of all of my videos I've done, all 200 videos that I've done of Dead by Daylight. I put it all in one playlist. And I remember when I started playing the game, you know, I was, you know, of course, in the beginner, don't know what's really going on, don't know how to play the game. But like as I started to watch videos, learn the meta at the time, you know, like like I didn't really start more into playing it again when they released Michael Myers from the Halloween series and they introduced Laurie Strode. So that's what I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, they added another killer that I like, Michael Myers. So that's when I really got into playing the game, you know, and I learned it. Like I was still a little rusty at the game, you know, not knowing what to do. But like I tell you, as I started playing it, I started learning stuff, learning the meta perks, learning how to do this, do that, and I'm thinking like, wow, I love this game. So I said, you know what? Let me start um doing playthroughs, doing like live streams of online playthrough of the game, and like I tell you, I've done so much playthrough, like so much online plays of this game that like, you know, I love the community, I love the series. I know sometimes people be a little toxic, you know, with the game, like you know, the killers versus survivors, survivors versus killers, saying that survivors are overpowered, but like you know, the killers are a little overpowered themselves, you know, like some like just over the course of these 7 years. You know, perks got nerfed, some stuff got stripped, some stuff got buffed. Certain killers, like Freddy, when he first came out, he was like trash. Now, you know, he had a rework some years back, and Freddy is pretty. I'm sorry, Freddy Krueger is much better to play with, you know. And even then, you know, like I told you, I'm a survivor man. I didn't really start playing killer until I mean, I don't play killer much, but like I tell you, I do dabble at the killer a little bit. Like you know, I use Michael Myers. I'll use Springtrap. I'll use Wesker, Nemesis. You know, the Resident Evil killers. You know, I've tried Pyramid Head. Wasn't much of my style. You know, I did the Ghostface. I tried Ghostface. I like playing him. You know, so it kind of depends. You know, on how you play even though like you know when I do play killer I do get a little frustrated, you know, because but then again I can't get frustrated because as me being a survivor main, they're doing the same things that I do to other killers in the video game as well, so I can't really get mad at them doing the same stuff that I do to killers, you know. You know, you got some killer players who know how to adapt to like the shenanigans that us do, that we survivors do, you know. um, like I just had so many fond memories of this game for like the flashlight clicking, which they nerfed the flashlights so you can't click it in the killer's face like you used to. Of course, you know one thing we still do is teabag killers at the end at the gate. When they be like such tryhards and they be trying so hard to kill us. um, we still do that, you know. But like I tell you, I have such a huge love for this game, you know. And if anyone ever want to play with me, you know, you're always welcome to play with me in this game. Like if you ever want to message me on PlayStation Network, um, my PSN name is Shadow Prince 01. You know, you're welcome to message me or send me a friend request. I'm welcome to all, you know, players. Anyone who wants to play, you know, I enjoy playing with everyone. You know, I love friendly people, people who like to laugh, people who like to, you know, just talk and have fun. But yeah, you know, I just really wanted to talk about a little bit of my love for Dead by Daylight and how this game has uh, like really just made me happy. You know, like I tell you, most of my videos on my channel are from Dead by Daylight. You know, I just really want to talk about the impact that this game had on me, and I'm going to keep on playing this game till the servers go down. There's times I may take some time off of the game because I may get a little burnt out for playing it a lot. Um, but then I always come back. You know, Dead by Daylight behavior, they know how to get me back into the game. You know, introducing new DLC characters, new costumes. Like, I don't know how much money I spent on costumes in this game, but probably a lot. You know, and then especially when they added my favorite game series, Castlevania, to the game. So now I'm just like playing it more and more and more. But yeah, you know, I just really want to talk about, you know, Dead by Daylight. Do you guys play Dead by Daylight? Let me know how was your experience with the game. Who's your favorite survivor? Who's your favorite killer? Do you play survivor? Do you play killer? You know, one thing I was a little upset recently that I found out, which I'm very upset. The game did have an update, and they nerfed the map add-ons, which I hate that happened because like I usually love to play the Raccoon City Police Station, and I used like 10 badges, and it never went to the map that I wanted. So like, you know, I read on Facebook in this Dead by Daylight group I'm in how it's saying like, oh, with the Five Nights at Freddy's update, the map add-ons got nerfed. So I don't know why they got nerfed. Hopefully they take it back to the old way to when you use a map add-on, it goes to the level that you want. Because if you see a lot of my videos, you see that I love to play the Raccoon City Police map, or say the level for Silent Hill, the Midwich Elementary School. You know, I love those maps. You know, and I would try to use the offering for them. But now that like the offerings got nerfed and there's only like a 20% chance that you would get that map offering, or you get that map loaded in game, it's kind of a little sad. But hey, like, you know what? Hopefully, maybe behavior will see survivor outcry, say like, hey, make it back to 100% instead of 20%. But yeah, I just really want to talk about my Dead by Daylight, you know, video. I mean, my Dead by Daylight experience and how I have a love for this game. But like, too, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me how was your experience with Dead by Daylight. How long have you been playing the game? Have you been playing it since release? Have you been playing it day one? Did you hear about it from a friend and bought it like a month later, like I did back in the past, like 7 years ago? Um, like you said, like I said, leave a comment in the bottom of the comments. You know, tell me your favorite survivor. Tell me your favorite killer if you killer main. Tell me how you got into the Dead by Daylight. Do you still play Dead by Daylight? Um, you know, just let me know. And like I tell you, if you ever want to play with me, my PlayStation name is Shadow Prince 01. I play on PlayStation, of course. And like I tell you, if you want to play any other horror games with me, I play a lot of stuff. From the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I even play Earth Defense Force. That's not like really a horror game, but hey, anyone who knows about EDF, you know, hey, feel free to message me and we can play stuff. Like, well, we can play some games together. So I hope you liked my video. Shadow Prince Gamer out, and I'll see you in the fog.